story in Durban. We go there now, where there are no unplanned power cuts in eThekwini. This allows people to plan according to set power cut times. Let's find out just how the municipality is getting this right. Well, finding out for us and tracking the story this hour is my colleague Dasen Thathiah, senior reporter here at eNCA. Good afternoon, Dasen Thathiah. How is eThekwini managing? How are they getting their act together in terms of these power cut times?
Well, Bradan, it's incredible that we have to have a conversation around this, us celebrating these small mercies. We are just as frustrated as you are when it comes to load shedding. We don't like it one bit, but at least the one thing that we are grateful for is that from what we've seen so far, the schedule seems to be on track. It seems to be working in most respects. It's impossible to talk about the entire municipality, but for the most part, there seems to be fewer complaints here than we are hearing about from where you come from. So that's certainly a good thing. So we want to find out now from the municipality. I have the head of electricity at eThekwini, Mr. Maxwell Mthembu, about how they're doing this or what are they doing differently. Mr. Mthembu, thank you so much for joining me. So, are you running your system any differently to Johannesburg?
I cannot confirm how Johannesburg's system looks like, but I can tell you how our system looks like. We are lucky in the fact that we're running all our high voltage system on SCADA. So our SCADA is one that controls all our networks, and it controls also the load shedding schedule. On top of that, we bought a software that is helping us actually to properly manage the issue of load shedding, and we automate it. In other words, it's not done physical by any person or any technician or engineer. It's done automated. It's automated in our system. So we know whenever there's a block, whatever stage that we're in, we automate it, and we know which people are going to come back off and on at a particular time. There's a saying, though, in Durban that says you must be as punctual as load shedding. It is because of that reason that when we tell you we're going to switch you off at 12 o'clock, we do switch you off at 12 o'clock. Yes, we do have our fair share of problems when it's time to come back on. Some areas that it does come back on, some the trips, but it's only just for those few feeders, and we've got people on standby to go and make sure that they are able to rectify the situation.
So is this system that you're running and the way it is running, does that limit the number of failures that you get as a result of those surges coming in when you resume the electricity connection?
Exactly. It does. It does limit all the failures coming in because there's no more human element involved. It's all automated, it's machine run. So there are few mistakes when there's a machine running the system compared to human running the system.
Well, the bar is pretty low, so I don't know if I should call this praise, but yours, the eThekwini municipality, was highlighted as one of the two that was actually compliant during this time of load shedding. So just talk to me about what were some of the reasons why, for example, municipalities would not be able to comply. Surely it is something that you don't really have a choice in doing.
My understanding is that everybody should be complying with load shedding schedule. We've got something called NRSO 48 Part 9. We're all part of, ESCOM is part of that. All the metros plus all the municipalities are part of that. So we all participate in it and we all comply to it. Whenever there's a call coming from national control in Simapen and telling us that there's going to be load shedding, sometimes it comes at short notice, and most of the time actually, it comes at a short notice. So because our system is automated, we're able to respond much faster. It's just a button press, we press the button and that's it. So it's all scheduled now. We know who's going to go off board at what time and come back what time. So it helps us. But what has been difficult for Durban is that if it's during the day like now, and people go off and on, it doesn't become most of a problem because the geysers are not much used. But if the schedule comes off we come off at 4 o'clock and we come back at 6 o'clock, and most people, they knock off from work at 4 o'clock, they get home at 5. They take showers, they bath, they cook, they do everything, but particularly the showers, which is affecting the geysers. So now by the time 6 o'clock comes in, there's now a standing load that is waiting to come on. And when that happens, it does trip the system. So that is a norm system everywhere in the world, not just in our country, in the world. So we do also experience such things. But yes, we are happy that we've got a system, a software that is able to automate all our network, all our schedule. So we're happy with it.
And just lastly, before I let you go, tell me, is there any type of relief that consumers can get? Clearly, this ESCOM is a sinking ship, so we should ultimately be trying to get off this grid. Is there anything that you're doing as a municipality to enable consumers to get independent power?
Okay. Maybe before I answer the independent power side, let me answer this side that says, are we doing something about it to give incentive to customers? The answer is yes. It's been there for quite some time. We call it load curtailment. especially the big customers, they voluntarily drop their 10% load. The trick is this: the 10% load that they are dropping is not only for just 2 hours. You drop it for the entire duration of load shedding. So we have customers like that in Durban who are now exempted from load shedding because they voluntarily drop 10%, sometimes even above 10% load. So it does help us. Imagine if everybody were to do that. There will be less problems in the country doing so. But to answer your direct question now, is there any other thing that we can do, like going to renewables? The answer is yes. As the eThekwini municipality, we did something called RFI, request for information, and asking the public to tell us what is available, what can they do to help us to be off Eskom, not necessarily off grid, but off Eskom and get other independent power projects coming in. We closed that process 2 months ago, and we're busy with evaluating that process. So soon we're going to be recommending through the minister's office who are the people who are liable to come and do what in Durban. So we don't know yet, but we know it's going to come.
Well, we'll be watching out for that. Thank you so much, Mr. Mthembu. You'll hear there, Braden, that is how the system is run here in eThekwini. Not to say that there are no problems at all, but by and large, the system has been running fairly efficiently if you factor in the usual frustration of load shedding.
Okay, thank you very much, Dasen Thathiah there in Durban, just getting to grips how eThekwini is managing that. And we just heard from Eskom. They've just sent out a media alert saying that they are going to be holding another briefing today about the current system challenges. And that's going to be at 3 o'clock, which is what, in about 45 minutes.